What is up, everyone? Darkside Phil here again for part 2 of Ask the King episode 29. If you wonder why the last video ended abruptly, it's because exactly what I thought, I was out of time, and my camera actually stops recording around 30 minutes. So, starting my timer again, and here we go, right into some more questions, because I have quite a lot to answer. Okay, next question. This one's from JMoney12, and he says, DSP, I've noticed something peculiar, and not to name drop, but I'm subscribed to a popular YouTuber gamer called the Rad Brad. Like you, he does video game playthroughs, but he takes at least a couple weeks to finish each game because he plays multiple games at a time. But only puts out, at average, around 2 videos a day, yet he has over 500,000 subscribers. Why do you think YouTubers who do this are more popular? To be clear, I prefer your videos, of course. Again, from JMoney12. It's this simple, and this is something that I've never done, but unfortunately this has become the norm on YouTube. The biggest YouTubers are people who put out a couple videos a day, just enough for you to digest a little bit. They don't flood your inbox, per se, with videos. They don't expect you to watch their stuff for hours a day. But what they basically do is they all conform to this YouTube formula. 1 to 2 videos a day. If it's gameplay, it's going to be direct capture footage. That way they have the time to edit the video during the day, because they're only putting out 1 or 2 parts a day. And what it is people, I really think, they like the little instant snippet. They like the fact, oh, I wonder what Rad Brad's up to today. And they'll go to his channel, oh, 1 or 2 quick videos. Wow, that's fun. Okay, now I'm off to do for the rest of my day. Or maybe people are like, I follow several YouTubers. I like 10 people on YouTube, so every day I check what each one of them new has put out. And so they spend a couple hours doing it that way because they're only watching 1 video from each person. I've never done things that way. And there's 2 reasons. Number 1, because I like playing games to the point where I like for example, Sly 3. I was enjoying Sly 3 so much, I actually wanted to keep playing it, and I was a little disappointed that the new release Anarchy Reigns came out and I had to stop playing it for a couple days, but now I'll resume today. But that's the thing, like when I'm in a game that I like, I want to keep playing it, and I don't want to only release 2 videos a day. I know there's other people that like following along with me as well, and they want to see the whole playthrough. And also, as you know, I don't do direct capture because I have the ability to put out so many videos a day because I use this camera. I can put out more than 2 videos because I'm not editing constantly. And the last thing is I also enjoy playing in my living room on my couch with surround sound. I'm not like every other gaming YouTuber who literally sits at their computer like this, staring at a tiny screen with headphones and a microphone on to get their commentary. I'm not like that, and I don't like that. I think that gaming should be in an open environment. That's how gaming was meant to be experienced, not with headphones cramped on a fucking computer screen. So, my videos are different. Bottom line is, the average YouTuber, the common YouTuber, doesn't like the way I do videos. It's simple. I had over 2,500 people subscribe to me, new subscribers in the month of December, because I wasn't putting out constant gameplay. Instead, I was doing my year-end series. So, here you go. I'm doing 5 year-end videos today. It's only like maybe 45 minutes of content. People love it. I get subs up the ass. All of a sudden, this week, I started uploading gameplay footage. I uploaded 20-something videos of Sly on Monday, or Sunday, then like 30 videos on Monday. I uploaded 24 videos of Anarchy Reigns on Tuesday, and something like 16 or 17 videos of Anarchy Reigns yesterday. I've lost like 500 subs. I'm not exaggerating, I'm not kidding. I lost a shit ton of subs because people are like, oh, look at these videos in my YouTube inbox, I don't like this, and they unsubscribe. Now, just keep in mind, there are ways that you could easily, with your YouTube homepage and your inbox, make it so that my videos wouldn't flood the box. The problem is, people are too lazy to learn how to actually use YouTube. And so all they do is, this guy's not the norm, he's not conforming to what every single other popular YouTuber does, he sucks, and then they unsubscribe. So it is what it is. This happens every year. I get a bunch of subs at the end of the year because I'm not doing a lot of gameplay, and then I lose all those subs in January. And it's unfortunate, but it's a symptom of the YouTube system. When everyone does everything the same, everything seems like it's the same. You know what I mean? Do you want conformity, or do you want someone who does things differently, who isn't afraid to speak his mind, who isn't afraid to do crazy shit like I do, you know, with my videos and my playthroughs? So, I'm not saying anything negative about the Rad Brad. He conforms to the standard YouTube system of I put out 1 or 2 videos a day. It's all direct capture. I do fancy video editing. And, you know, that's his formula, and it works for him. He has over 500,000 subscribers because people like 1 to 2 videos a day because they're all little conformist sheep and they don't understand that, gee, maybe if I watch the same person for a couple hours, it might be entertaining. No, instead, I want my 1 video a day of this person. So, it is what it is. I don't understand why people don't just learn how to use YouTube so that my shit doesn't flood their inbox, but I can't make them. Oh well. I've never been about subscribers. I never will be about subscribers. You know what I mean? Look at my views, my channel views, compared to some of the people who have 5 to 10 times the number of subscribers I have. My views are great. That's all I care about. Okay, next question. Actually, it was Hazard that first brought this up, but a lot of people have asked me this question about Bayonetta 2. What are my feelings about it being a Wii U exclusive? The bottom line is this. Sega wasn't going to make another Bayonetta game. Sega did not want to publish Bayonetta 2. They didn't think that Bayonetta 1 was enough of a success for them to warrant making a sequel. Nintendo stepped up. So that's what it is, you know? And, you know, people, oh, how dare they make it a Wii U exclusive? I have an Xbox 360 and I played Bayonetta on Xbox 360 and I want to play Bayonetta 2 on Xbox 360. Did you step up and front the money to publish the game? No, you didn't. It's business. And in business, shit happens. Personally, obviously I own a Wii U, so it's not a problem for me. I'm looking forward to playing Bayonetta 2 on the Wii U. It sucks that people who played the first game and who don't own a Wii U may not be able to play it, but Nintendo were the ones who stepped up. So that's that. That's how business works. So personally, I don't have a problem with it. Okay. Next question. This one's from Jesse. And basically, I'm going to summarize because he had a very long question. He wants to know my feelings on the PS Vita. Because the PS Vita was released early in 2012. New handheld system. I actually have my Vita right here. New handheld system. Big, you know, bright screen. Great graphics. It had revolutionary, you know, it was kind of like almost a portable console rather than just a handheld watered down system. It has a touchpad on the back. It's got touchscreen technology. But the bottom line is, it's not selling well. If you look at sales numbers, the PS Vita did not sell well in 2012. Not even for the holidays. It really just didn't sell. It didn't catch on. And everyone's wondering why. Well, I'm going to go out and I'm going to quote what I said in an Ask the King a year ago when people first asked me, what do you think of the PS Vita? When I want to play pretty games, I want to play them on my TV. I don't want to play them on a small screen. And I think the Vita was an attempt to take like a PlayStation 3 and put it in a handheld. Who wants that? When I'm, you know what I mean? When I'm doing handheld gaming, it's probably because I'm doing it in a car, on a train, in a place where I couldn't be playing my home console. But guess what? I don't care if the sound's great. I don't care if the graphics are great because I'm looking at a small-ass screen. So it doesn't matter how pretty the games are. They're not going to sell because the game that are pretty, you want to play those games on your TV. Now, I understand, and some people kind of gave me shit for this last year. They said, Phil, the PS Vita, well, I would get it because I can't, you know, I don't own my own TV or, you know, I live with my family and they don't always want me playing games on the TV. So I like having the Vita and I can play it in my room. I can completely understand that. I don't think that's the core audience of people who would buy a portable system. I really don't. I think if that's you, you're the exception to the rule. I think that this is something like the Game Boy. You would want to play it on a car. You'd want to play it, when you can't play a console hooked up to a TV. And how often is that? And making it, by the way, the price is expensive on this thing too. So making it an expensive thing because it has such great graphics and capabilities, I don't know if anyone's really blown away. In addition, honestly, the release lineup hasn't been that great. Outside of Uncharted, outside of Gravity Rush, and outside of Assassin's Creed Liberation, I haven't heard of any like games that knock you on your ass that you would want to play on the PS Vita. You know what I mean? In addition to that, I own Gravity Rush and Assassin's Creed Liberation, and I haven't really even wanted to play them. I have not even booted either one. I don't really care. Like, I bought them anticipating, well, I want to play them, and then as soon as I was thinking, I have to play it on the handheld, the appeal kind of died out. And honestly, I think I played more games on the 3DS last year than I did on the PS Vita. And the 3DS, I think, had better games, like Assassin's Creed, or Resident Evil Revelations. That was a great game. So, I don't know. I think the Vita, once again, is a technological misstep for Sony. I think that they, in their own minds, they think, just like they did with the PS3, when, you know, the Xbox 360 came out a year before the PS3, and had all these cool online features. The PlayStation 3 comes out a year later and has none of them. I think that Sony thinks that they like know better than everyone else, and rather than listening directly to what the people want, They just put out products thinking, oh, here's a cool, neat thing with neat features, and everyone's like, it has a bunch of touchscreen shit that I don't care about, and it's expensive. And there's really not a lot of games for it that I want. Why would I buy this? So Sony really needs to get back in touch with their customer base, because I really think that it is a flub. I think the Vita has been a flub. It's been a failure, and it could have done a lot better if they had just listened. Okay. Next question. Hey Phil, I know you're kind of answered or addressed this in one of your tour videos, but how have you managed to get yourself in better shape and stick with it? I'm at a really low point in my life, and my health is slowly deteriorating, so you're kind of an inspiration to me, and that's from Neon. I'm assuming what he's talking about is, you know, physical fitness, losing weight and such, because as you know, if you followed along with my videos for quite some time, back 2-3 years ago, especially when I was making videos on the Dark Side Phil channel, my original channel here on YouTube, I was overweight. I absolutely was. I was upwards of 230 pounds or more, and especially with my back injury, it was getting harder to do stuff, and I knew I had to make a change. And what basically I did, I'll be honest, I can't work out because of my back. I can't run, I can't ride a bike, I can't do any of these physical fitness things that you need to do to burn calories. I can't do it because of my back. So what I ended up doing was I ended up changing my lifestyle in regards to meals and food and such. I used to eat 3 meals a day. I used to not care about what I ate when I ate those 3 meals. So it would be fatty foods, constant fast food, you know, every meal. I remember when I used to work at my old office job, I'd wake up in the morning and have like a breakfast sandwich that you would buy at like the grocery store, one of those ones that you would microwave. Those aren't good for you. I'd have one of those. At lunch, I would constantly go out to a deli and get this big fucking sandwich with all kinds of cheese and mayo and shit on it. You know, really heavy-ass sandwich. I would have something like that for lunch. Then for dinner, I would go out, and I would go fast food, or maybe I would have like an unhealthy TV dinner or something like that. I just didn't care, and I really bulked up the pounds because I was doing that. Since then, I've completely changed my eating lifestyle. Number one, I only eat 1 major meal a day, but outside of that meal, I might snack, but if I snack, I usually try to do something healthy. I did, at one point, I was taking those vitamin shots, as I've shown in previous videos. I really don't do that as much anymore. I usually snack on something healthy, like maybe a couple nuts or trail mix, or a granola bar, or something like that. You know, and even beef jerky, if you get the right kinds, can be healthy. And so maybe I'll have a little bit of jerky or something like that as a snack during the day. And I drink a lot of water and fluids. That's really what I do most of the day. And then I have 1 major meal. And actually, just recently, I've decided that I was going to make my diet a little bit more healthy. So rather than going out and getting burgers or fried foods, maybe I'll go get a grilled chicken sandwich. Maybe I'll go to Subway and I'll get a cold cut sandwich with veggies. That's the kind of stuff that you can do to really turn your life around and lose some weight. And I've actually been checking, and like I said, I used to be over 230. Right now, the last time I weighed myself, I think I was like 209, and hopefully if I maintain this lifestyle and this eating habits of eating healthier over the next several months and year, maybe I'll lose even more weight. I think my ideal weight, I actually figured it out once, was like around 190 pounds, where I was not super skinny, but I had muscle on me, and I wasn't fat, and I felt good and healthy, and I think that's where I need to get again. So you can make these kind of changes just based off of what you eat. I stay away from soda all the time and stuff like that, and I tried to do healthy stuff. Okay. Next question. Hey Phil, I know you like gaming art, but would you ever consider getting it on your body in the form of a tattoo? Oh, okay. What are your thoughts on game-related tattoos? That's from Hooded Killer Ray. I'm not against tattoos. I do think that some people, unfortunately, make some of the worst decisions of their life when they get these really gaudy tattoos. Like, I would never get a tattoo on my face or my arms or my hands or anything like that, because that's the thing that you use to present yourself. And when you present yourself, I always felt that like a clean-cut kind of look is a better idea. I wouldn't be against getting a tattoo on the arms or maybe your back or anything like that, but I don't think I would ever do it at this point. I'm 30 years old. I think I've passed the point in my life where I cared about that kind of stuff. So I don't know. It's just never really been a consideration for me. Tattoos. It's never been a big thing. Never been something that I've desired. This one's from the Dazzler, and he says, given your back problems, have you ever considered trying DDP Yoga? Now, if you don't know what that is actually a pro wrestler whose name's Diamond Dallas Page, and he had back problems, and so he retired from the ring, started doing yoga, and now he has this yoga system that apparently heals back problems. Would it fix a herniated disc? I don't know. I think what it might do is strengthen all my other muscles around the herniated disc, and it might help out in that regard. So, is it anything I've ever looked into? No, but a lot of people have been talking to me about it, and now I'm kind of thinking maybe it is something that I should look into if it could help me. The good news is there is new technology and things being developed right now that maybe in a couple of years I may be able to fix my back permanently. That's not just like an intrusive surgery that may not work. If that's the case, I may just wait it out and go for those. But if those never come to fruition, this might be something like DDP Yoga, maybe something I actually seriously look into. Okay, got about another 10 minutes left. Next question. I'd like to know more. Oh, you know what? This one is from Venomous Fat Man. And he wants to know more about my overall feelings about gaming media outside of mainstream outlets. He says, I myself, as you know, am trying to become part of the gaming media through my content on my YouTube channel, and the website that I'm editor-in-chief of now, shiftedtoyou.com. Is your animosity against mainstream gaming media sites the same for all kinds of gaming media websites and outlets because of the constant nonsense that seems to happen with the industry, like reviews for Double Dragon Neon, Ninja Gaiden 3, Medal of Honor Warfighter, the stuff coming out of PlayStation Magazine, etc. in the past year? Or are your views on media and smaller gaming outlets a lot more relaxed? What are some tips or thoughts that you can give about how someone like me looking to get into video game journalism and coverage can help better my abilities in the field? Anything would be helpful, and I hope this sparks up some good conversation and discussion. And again, that's from Venomous Fat Man. The bottom line is this. I do have a gripe with mainstream gaming media, but there's a very specific reason why. You know, to be completely honest, the mainstream media would have never gotten where they were if it weren't for big money and big backing. Websites like GameSpot, IGN, these websites got to where they were because some big media conglomerate gave them millions of dollars to make this a media outlet. And because of that, IGN, look, it's the biggest thing in gaming. We cover every game. We do this, we do that. We're at E3. And because of that, the website becomes a respected website. Unfortunately, the majority of people literally take what these websites say as gospel truth on games. And that's very unfortunate, especially when you get a very opinionated review of a game that really doesn't, it's wrong. It doesn't understand what the game's going for. This one right here, Double Dragon Neon. IGN had a very unprofessional reviewer, who I've had many issues with over the past 2 years, review Double Dragon Neon. Double Dragon Neon was a game that was designed to be a retro game. It was supposed to play like the original Double Dragons from the 1980s with a couple modernization twists. So if you were a fan of the Double Dragon games and of everything that was going on during the 1980s when Double Dragon was popular, that game was fucking great. If you're not a fan of that stuff, you're not going to get it. It's obviously the reviewer who reviewed the game for IGN didn't get it. He wasn't a fan of that stuff. He even literally said in his review, it plays too much like a game from the 1980s and games have advanced since then. But that's the point of the game. It's supposed to be a nostalgic throwback to the 1980s. And he actually gave the game a 3 out of 10 because of that. So, let me give you my reasoning on why I disagree with mainstream gaming sites so much. They have a responsibility, being that they are so, they become the voice. People take their shit that they say as gospel truth. They have a responsibility to put out responsible information and responsible game reviews. So when you put out a game review, you have to be both objective as well as subjective about what you put out there. And that's my main focus of what I can give as advice to people who are trying to get into journalism. Understand that, yes, you might have your own subjective take on something, but just because you do, that's not a reason to not objectively view something. So for you to say that a game is bad just because you didn't get it, or because, it's not like a previous game in the series like they did with Resident Evil 6 this year. It's completely unprofessional, and it will create a gang mentality on the internet that people will not like this game. Resident Evil 6 sold well, but probably would have done a hell of a lot better if there wasn't this gang mentality on the internet that the game sucks. The game doesn't suck. If you look at it objectively, it has a massive amount of content, high production values, an interesting and fun story, great graphics, fun gameplay. That's the bottom line. It's a great game, and it's hours of content. It's bang for your buck as well. if you view it objectively, you can see that. Now, you can combine your subjectives. Well, I liked the older style gameplay better. Okay, but as long as you acknowledge that all of that good stuff is there, objectively, then when you add in your subjective opinion, it's okay. But for people out there who are reviewing Resident Evil 6 again, 2 out of 10, 3 out of 10, because it doesn't play like the old Resident Evils. Completely unprofessional. People are listening to your review because you're part of the mainstream media as gospel truth on whether they should buy a game or not, and now they're missing out on a great game because you've got a fucking stick up your ass and you're not professional and you don't know how to do your job. That's the gripe I have with mainstream gaming media. They think that just because they're doing a review, well, a review is just an opinion, therefore I can say whatever the fuck I want and I don't have to defend myself. Wrong. Those days are over. And you want to know why those days are over? Because they're independent websites like the one that Venomous Fatman is editor-in-chief in, that are doing things actually better than the mainstream sites. There are people like myself, like Total Biscuit, who are there to call out these fucking assholes who put out unprofessional content and say, no, you don't have the right to review these games wrong. You can't. You can't just do it based off sole opinion. There are objective factors that you should factor into this shit. And there are people who are independents, who don't work for the mainstream, who are doing it better. So, if you are one of these people who are trying to get into gaming journalism and you're not working for a big IGN or GameSpot or whoever, if you do it fairly and you weigh your opinion along with the facts of what you're reporting, you're going to go a hell of a lot further than these immature children who just think, oh, it's a review, it's an opinion, I can say whatever I want, because you can't. That's not how a professional does it. Okay, next question. Dear Phil, I've just recently been accepted to college and naturally I'm excited about the news. Well, congratulations. My question for you is, do you have any advice for a person now entering college? I know that you have to work hard, and I shouldn't slack off, but do you have a word of wisdom that will carry well through my college career? And that's from Lightside Kyle. The bottom line is this. Congratulations on getting into college. I hope that what you learn in college you were able to apply to what you do in life later on. I'll be completely honest with you, Kyle. I haven't. I went to school for business and finance. When I got out of school, originally actually I'd been going to school for computer programming. But as I was going to school for computer programming, the bubble burst, and all of a sudden there were almost no jobs for computer programming unless you were like the best of the best. So I ended up switching my major to business as a finance focus. When I got out of college, no one would even consider me for a finance job because I didn't have connections and I didn't have previous experience. Well, let me ask you a question. How do I get experience unless you hire me to have experience? It makes no fucking sense. What these jobs literally wanted me to do was go and take unpaid internships in the financial field to get experience. Well, I needed to support myself. I needed to pay the bills. How can I do a 40-hour-a-week internship for free when I need to pay my bills? So college really didn't help me at all. All the jobs I had after that had nothing to do with finance, and now look what I'm doing. Nothing to relate to now. Of course, my business and my financial background helps me with my personal life. I can keep track of my finances, and I understand how investments and credit cards and all this kind of shit, loans work. So when I do things in my personal life, it definitely helped me, but I haven't found a way to really find an application for my college skills. I hope that my number one piece of advice, whatever you go to college for, try to align yourself so that by the time you're out of college, you'll have a job. Whether it means doing internships during college, whether it means being buddy-buddy with people like your professors who maybe have connections in the field that you're trying to get into, it's worth it because I know some people who literally kissed ass all through college and immediately got a job afterwards and they did well with their lives because of that. But the other thing that I want to give you as advice, don't take anything too seriously. Yes, you're at college to learn, and that is number one. But you also need to take the opportunity to branch out, to make friends, to build relationships, and to have fun. This is really, honestly, college is going to be the last time in your life where it's kind of like you're in training to be an adult. And it's going to be the last opportunity you have of, oh, here's a place where there's all people my same age range, maybe some of my same interests who are meeting up, and you can branch out and have fun. After that, you're on your own. This is the real world, and you're going to have to be working 40-hour work week jobs. You're going to be, at the grindstone every day. You're not going to have time for fun and games anymore. So definitely take your studies seriously, but also take this opportunity to enjoy yourself when you're in college, because once you get out and you get into the real workforce, that stuff's probably going to go away, okay? So that's the best advice I could have for you. All right, one more question, and then I think I'm going to make a part 3, because like I said, I really did feel this was going to be a long episode. And we're going to do Twitter and Facebook questions in part 3 to end the episode, okay? Okay, so the final question for my forums: would you ever play a game and rate it unfairly if you were paid to do so? And that's from Black Ice. Black Ice, not only would I ever not, not only would I never boost a review score because I was paid to do so, or lower a review score because I was paid to do so, I would never even play a game just because I was paid to do so. And I even brought this up a couple weeks ago, that there are some bigger gaming YouTubers who have been offered by companies to play their games that normally they wouldn't play on their channels, and they get paid money to do it. I think that's unprofessional. I think that that's just taking a paycheck rather than loving what you're doing. And quite honestly, I do not respect it. I play games because I enjoy games, and I like all kinds of games. Yes, there were promotions in 2012 that I participated with Machinima. One of them was like Nexius, another one was Need for Speed, and another one was Hawken. The bottom line, though, is I actually wanted to try a lot of those games, and I actually enjoyed a bunch of them. I was actually able to give away some copies of those games to my fans because I participated. So I loved those. Yes, I made a little bit of extra money doing them, but at the same time, I also enjoyed the games. It wasn't just me taking a paycheck to promote a game, and I would never do that. That's the bottom line. So that's probably what separates me from a lot of other YouTubers, and that's probably why I make a lot less money than a lot of other YouTubers. Alright, so that's it for part 2. There will be a part 3 where we're going to do 2 more common questions that everyone's been asking me about, including some scapegoating regarding the Sandy Hook shootings, some comments on the PS4 not being allowed to play used games, and then Twitter, Facebook questions that were really good. So definitely be back for part 3, and I'll see you there.